I work from 6 a.m. in the morning until 9:30 in the evening. I get up every single day at 4:30 in the morning to do my rituals. Sometimes I miss them, but I have my rituals in the morning, do my stuff in the morning, visualize, do my declarations, and do my stuff, just my stuff that keeps me going. You know, otherwise you get lost in this city. So my balance is what I do in my, what I call the power hour, which is from 4 to 5. But what I was playing that I spend over 15 hours straight at work, client after client after client after client after client, every single day. I still don't get enough of it. I mean, I love it. I don't get tired. I don't feel any. I don't feel anything that is basically stopping me to do it. I mean, just want to do it more and more. The problem is I cannot duplicate myself, and the problem is that I have clients waiting for me. Like, even I have a waiting list of 6 months of people waiting to train. But unfortunately, I cannot duplicate myself. And I could do 24 hours if I could, but as I say, it's not possible. So that is what gives me fuel. That's my passion, and that's what helps me to people make it believe more and more in what we do. So as I say, your Bible tribes, people keep coming to us saying, "You guys are doing this great. How many people in your team you have?" Say, "Well, there's 2 of us." Say, "Oh guys, well, your marketing, your image, your visuals, or everything looks like you have a big team." And say, "No, it's just 2 of us." Again, it's all because of she has the right vision towards me. She always wanted to build a man, and I always believe that I don't consider myself a great man, of course. I will be, I'm pretty sure, and that is because of her. Because behind every great man, there's a great woman, and she's the one who's going to help me to build up that dream, and we're going to build it up together. Then, of course, the partnership and stuff, the more we grow, that's the idea of where we're going. But we are pretty focused on where we're going.
So particularly when it comes to marketing in China, what have been your experiences, and like, what are the channels that you use? Is it mostly WeChat? Is there other stuff that you use? Like, how do you decide how to do your marketing?
Okay, it's been entirely WeChat. We never been doing anything else besides. We try sometimes QQ or other channels, but you gotta go for what is the sure thing. And WeChat is just everything in China. You cannot. Once I tried to live without WeChat, I was getting fitted of too many things, and I was super tired of WeChat at the point that it really bothers me that people doesn't accept money in the streets anymore. It's just WeChat. I said too much. So I tried to live without WeChat for a week. Impossible. It's just not possible. So you realize the power that WeChat has. I mean, everybody knows it, and it's entirely WeChat what we do in terms of marketing. And other channels we are exploring little by little according to the target population we have, and mostly, as I said, depends of the target, depends of the locations we have. We use probably different channels. Now there's more and more coming, like other applications of social media, and that's something that we are evaluating to also be open to other channels. But all the visuals, all the ideas goes mostly. I mean, WeChat is being evaluating a lot. Nowadays, I don't think people open links anymore, right? I mean, we still do, but it's not like the beginning. Wow, this is a link. When the first time I saw a link was like, oh, this is amazing. I want one for myself. Now people just swap all the time, and your information has to be concise and catchy and fast, because people don't like to write. I don't like to read WeChat anymore. So just something that is interesting for my eyes instantly, I go for it. So that's why the image and design is, I think, is the most important of the WeChat channel. Yeah. Information, it's only for people that is interested or relevant on, but mostly I think people, I mean, love comes from the sight. Yeah, so people want to see what they want to see only. Yeah, even though something like, okay, it's what it, but it's something that I'm interested on, then I probably gonna click it. And if I don't click it, I already catch my attention. So in a city that never sleeps like Shanghai, you need to keep entertaining people the more you can. I read somewhere like, if New York is the city that never sleeps, then Shanghai is the city that never see that. And that's true. That's true. So you always have to be innovating. You always have to be bringing new stuff. You always have to be in different state of mind to try to understand, because this city is moving so fast and people's coming from everywhere and going everywhere and just moving all the time. So you need to be on that wave to catch them. You need to be the board to surf. So it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult. It's not that easy.
So how do you make sure that you are on that wave? Like what you mentioned earlier, your morning rituals, and I'm just thinking about like, how do you decide what your next move is? How do you make those decisions?
It's a good question. First of all, I'm pretty clear where I'm going. Before I probably didn't have much idea. Now I have a consistent idea, very clear idea of where I'm going, and I know what it takes to make it. So when I know what it takes to make it, morning ritual for me is the key of everything. Not getting too much into details, but the things I do on those rituals give me a clear mind and allows me to breathe before the storm of my daily work, which is 15 hours straight of work, of lifting, dropping, punch, pump, pump. So those moments of my rituals allows me to back off of the night before. Okay, what happened yesterday, and how I'm gonna drive it differently today, because you can only connect the dots backwards, yeah, not to the front. So I connect the dots backwards, what I've been doing good, what I'm doing wrong, and that's how I attack my next day. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next month. I don't know anything. But by connecting the dots and doing my morning rituals, I know where I'm standing and position myself where I want to be, and I just try to connect the dots of what it takes to get in there, such as keep preparing yourself. Yeah, that's for sure. You need to keep upgrading yourself. You need to keep reading. You need to keep certifying yourself, preparing. That is a pillar. Yeah. With that, whatever comes in the future, you are prepared. Like, okay, if the market change, okay, now it's no more TRX. Oh, now it's another trend in CrossFit or in this and that. So the more you cultivate yourself, the more you are basically on the wave. Yeah. See, because if here you don't do, I don't want to say the word, SH, you don't make it. You have to do all the time something. It doesn't matter what it is. And many people tell me all the time, you try to do too much. You do too much. Like you have boxing, you have yoga, dance, Pilates, CrossFit, that. And everybody tells me you should focus to do something good, just one thing good. I don't believe in such a thing. I think the more polyvalent you are, the more you can grab, the more you can do, the more you can influence, the more you can touch people. So in fitness, I receive my critics sometimes that yes, we do too much, but it's because we do it well, because we know how to do it. If I don't know how to do something, I will not do it. So it just takes time to develop, but again, if I don't know how to do something, I will not step on it. So that's what we've been doing since the really beginning, moving from one discipline to another. And the way I do, the way you tell me how do I know what is the next step, is by preparing myself. So I prepare myself, I get certified on this or in that, and then I know that what I can do with this. Certifications, there are way too many in the market. Many. Yeah. You decide which one is relevant for you. I decide some of them are not relevant for me, and I will never do them because I don't believe that just a paper telling you that you are able to do something, even though you don't have the experience, will prove it. No, I'll prove it here day by day. I teach more than 1,700 hours a year. So the only way to prove that is by me selecting what I want to be, what I want to coach, what I want to give to people, not what the market says. That's what I say. It is important you to know how to surf those waves. So it's through education, through continuous education, through preparing yourself.
If someone's looking to get into specifically the fitness or the health or the wellness industry in China, what do they need to know?
What do they need to know? Well, first of all, the market. Chinese market, of course. But why? First of all, because the trends of fitness coming from the States or from mostly the States, not necessarily are adaptable to Chinese market because of the physiognomy itself of the Chinese public. For example, CrossFit. CrossFit is getting extremely popular, extremely trendy in China, and it's growing more and more because Chinese people are growing physically, not like before. That's why probably bodybuilding was not very popular many years ago, and now some of the biggest guys I've seen are Chinese. So understand understand what they like, but not only what they like, what is suitable for them. Such as why hot water instead of cold water in a hot weather. That's the Chinese market. So you need to understand, first of all, their ideas, their conception of the things you're trying to put into their minds. Because fitness is a very personal thing, mostly when it comes to groups. It's when I do a lot of team workouts, and you can see the huge difference of playing teams between Chinese and Western people. When I do corporate trainings, I do it in purpose to separate Chinese with the foreigner team, and then Chinese are surprised why this guy's always winning. And it's not only because of the physical capacities, but it's because of the brotherhood and the workout, the cheering up spirit. Meanwhile, one guy, Chinese, is in the rower struggling, the other ones are just watching. Meanwhile, the Westerns are just cheering up and growing together. So it's getting there more and more because fitness, as I said, is for me something very personal. People get in touch, get too close, sometimes even sharing sweat, and Chinese are a little bit more concerned about getting too close and touchy and stuff. Meanwhile, we like to work out finish and we are hugging each other and it depends if it's a team sport, individual sport. For individual sports, I believe it. I mean, I was training Coco, which is it was supposed to be the #1 worldwide. Personal sports, yes, they are awesome, and you see it more and more in Olympics.
Coco, you mean the pole dance?
No, Coco is a tennis player.
Oh, okay.
Tennis player. She was the next Lina. Had the chance to train her.
Okay.
Amazing tennis player. So when is individuals in their disciplines, I mean they've been growing that way. Since they're little, they put them to do this because you're gonna get a gold medal. But general public, no. So when new trends comes, like in which you basically need to be close to your partners, and they understand it in a different way. So that's what I say. There's more and more trends coming in that way. But first of all, you need to understand, for example, if people, like Chinese people, are feeling comfortable to do acro yoga. A trend that is lately, you see it a lot right here. It's extremely personal, I believe. People get extremely close. So I don't think that those kind of things probably will be very popular a couple of years ago. So understand your market, understand Chinese people, what they want. I'm talking in terms of fitness, yeah. In terms of fitness, yeah, they're getting more and more involved to get close, to get very enthusiastic about it. And
how has, when you look at your business and the people you've been training, has the demographic changed over time? Like, where you had more foreigners at the beginning and now it's more Chinese people, or the other way around, or what has happened?
So I started mostly with foreigners. At the beginning was practically 100% foreigners, and now it's getting all the way around. Yes, we have more and more Chinese than foreigners, even though we are in an area which is an expat area. And for the expansion plans we have is entirely Chinese market. For basically the business model we're doing is mostly into Chinese population. So yeah, right now is it turned into a Chinese population at the gym, but still we have an amazing crowd of foreigners that they bring a lot of atmosphere. It's very important. It's very important too. I mean, I love both crowds. I love both crowds because foreigners, we understand better each other, and they bring a lot of atmosphere in class. But Chinese are so devoted to it, like they're super determined, and it's actually, you can see it in the population how fit they're getting. It's insane. It's crazy how fit Chinese people is just getting. So it's a pretty interesting mix.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear like that it was mostly foreigners and now it's moving more and more to Chinese. I have a hypothetical question for you. Do you think if you had focused on the Chinese market first without doing the foreigners that you would have been as successful as you are today?
Definitely no. No, because again, I didn't know. First of all, I mean, I do speak survival Chinese, but I am not able to coach a class in Chinese. So I would not be able to focus on the Chinese market at the beginning because I cannot basically provide what I offer to them. Or I could, but not in the same quality. I could put screens, which is very trendy lately, and I don't believe that will last because people need human connections. People need to feel that they belong somewhere. And I was just reading some, and one of my clients told me, for example, that Alibaba is opening a 200,000 square meters warehouse, and there's only 2 human beings operating it. Everything else is machines. No more taxi drivers, no more. So everything is going to get into that perspective. But fitness, no. Fitness, you need to connect. Fitness, you need basically human interactions. And I don't believe that screens will do the job of me shouting at you. Or it could do, but it's not as effective as I'm shouting at you. It's not that I shout to people. I do but if I was focusing into the Chinese market, at that time I'd probably do it by screens and me just, okay, follow that. But where is the connection? Me, I love to connect with people. That's why people probably come here, because there is the sense of community that you hear everywhere. But here we do build community, and everybody's connecting here with everybody. Yeah, we pass from having 30 members at the beginning at that little place to almost 800 now, and all of them connecting. You see the kind of interactions they have. They are human interactions. It's not like when they come here and you see the connection. It's not like just WeChat stuff. So. Yeah, definitely. If I started with Chinese market, I will not be where I am right now. For sure.